Kapla! Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters Network Thursday Things, where my special guest is Khartan, the Klingon Cleric. Of course, he seems to have the wrong name up.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should probably change that, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
I don't want to see your doppelganger. I want to see Khartan, my life mate. My Klingon name. Oh, I suppose I should change my name to my Klingon name. And name it headline. You have to tell me if I did this correctly.
I can't even spell cleric.
Cleric.
I got it.
Did I spell my Klingon name correctly?
It should be a capital Q and a capital I.
Okay.
It actually does make a difference. Well, especially with the Q. There. That's right.
There we go. So, tonight my special guest is Khartan, the Klingon Cleric. His channel is pinned to the top of the chat, so if you're not subbed, I'm sure most, if not all of you, probably aren't. If you wouldn't mind doing a little right click on there and giving him a sub, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. I know I was one of his first subscribers, so I'm definitely sub. Before we get started, let's say hello to the chat. First in at 5:16 p.m. was FKHC 2005, also known as Tim. Then next up was JPRPH1, sharing all those Netters Network emojis. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, I just realized I wasn't hitting my highlighty things. There we go. Connie Cleary saying hail to the chat. Curtis Selby. Here. Tired Blogger Raid. Woohoo! Then there's this. Oh, wait. I want that one. That last caller, Troy Pacelli guy. You know, he's always lurking. Yes. And apparently he loves Netters Network.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, and there's that Klingon Cleric himself. Welcome. Deleted scenes giving his salute. Trying not to let my chat jump. Darkwood Presents. Set a Windows notification this time. Ah, now I'm on time. Kapla. Okay, let's see. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Welcome.
Welcome.
And apparently you should know what this is about, Troy. Sorry for,
I don't know if I must have missed something. Wade, no worries. Whatever it is, clearly, I was unfazed or unconcerned.
And I am quickly adding my hi sweeties in the chat for the couple people that I did not get. Sweetie. I think I got it. If I missed someone, please let me know.
Absolutely.
I gotta say hi to my sweeties.
That's right.
Okay. Well, Khartan, the Klingon Cleric. I'm going to guess that your channel has some Klingon on it.
It does. Not a lot of content. What's interesting is that the Klingon Cleric channel started, I think I started it before I started doing anything with the main channel.
Well, let's see. I have your channel. I have, the Klingon Cleric up. Let's see if it says anything on here when you started it. Joined August 10th, 2019.
2019. Okay.
So now if I go to duplicate that and go to last call, Troy Pacelli, and I click on that one, and I go share more. May 22nd, 2014. You did last call before you did Klingon Cleric.
Well, I created an account under my name before I did anything else, but I think I started posting videos more on the Klingon Cleric channel, and I wasn't really doing a regular show or anything on Last Call. In fact, there was no Last Call at the time. I was doing guest spots on like Big Al Presents and some other YouTubers at the time, and I was actually just having this conversation not too long ago with Aged Boomer, trying to remember how it all started. And Aged Boomer and I kind of started uh, what became Geeky Geezers by taking over a show from somebody else. It wasn't called Geeky Geezers.
It was like something class or something like that.
Office Hours
study
or
hall?
something like that. Office Hours.
Yeah, study hall, office hours.
And when when we would fill in, we called it, I don't remember what we called it, but when that show pretty much just went away, we said, let's continue the concept and we'll call it Geeky Geezers. And we started doing,
And where did the name Geeky Geezers come from?
I don't, was that you or was that,
that was me.
Okay. And it with Big Al's approval because of the alliteration.
Yes. Because you guys were trying to figure out what you're going to call it. And, it's like, yeah, we're talking about like kind of geeky news and all that. And I was like, Geeky Geezers. And you're like, I like that. And he liked it. So you guys went with Geeky Geezers.
Yep.
So now, how did Khartan, the Klingon Cleric's channel come about?
Well, again, this was before I was doing anything with Last Call. And I wanted to do something Star Trek related, but more from the Klingon aspect. Going back to before we got married, before we met, I was in this Star Trek club that you ended up joining. And there were some problems in that Federation-based group. In fact, that's also where we met Mark Malnikoff, whom you oftentimes see in the chat here. And kind of all of us left that Fedi club and went and joined the local Klingon group. Couple of them, actually. The Klingon Armada International, which was a branch off of the Klingon Assault Group. We joined them both. Started our own ship here in the Chicago area. And, you start carving out your role in fandom, and everyone has their niche. And one of the things that Evelyn Hampton, who, again, most of you know from the chat, she thought that a Klingon ship, this was during the Next Gen, when Next Gen was pretty big on TV. She says, well, the Federation has these ship's counselors, right? What would it look like if you had the Klingon equivalent? And all I could think of was Cher's character in the movie Mermaids, where she plays a single Italian mother, right? Who's got this very abrasive attitude. And, people get all feelings and mushy, and she slaps them in the face and she goes, snap out of it, right? With the Italian hands, right? And I'm like, that's what a Klingon counselor would be. I've got these feelings and blah, 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 and this and that. Slug you across the face and go, get over it, warrior. Get out there and fight. So as we were thinking through the different roles of the bridge officers on the Klingon ship, we created the concept of the morale and motivation officer, which of course is a Federation concept of what you would call it. But it's not. Oh, you're right. It was Moonstruck. It wasn't Mermaids. Yeah, fuzzy memories. But thank you so much. Deleted scenes. Yeah, Mermaids was
Winona Ryder, and I forget the other.
It all blends together. And what's her name? Wednesday Addams too was in that one. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you very much for correcting me. Deleted scenes. So now you guys were joking about whether or not we were going to get into some Klingon It's the whole thing isn't going to be in Klingon because I'd have to translate every single thing I say. But so I call myself the Klingon cleric, but what we've decided is it's the office of the Laldan Shov Chochwit, which basically translates to the preserver of religious knowledge. So in this context, religion is not the most accurate translation. It refers to the philosophy of the Klingon way. So other less literal translations would be spiritual advisor, morale and motivation officer. But the role is the Laldan Shov Tohwi also serves as the Laldan Te Devwi, which is the leader of religious ceremonies. For example, performing weddings, I suppose if it ever came to it, the Hechbat, and so forth. There are people that have watched Star Trek, starting with the Next Generation on, know about the Rite of Ascension, and I've done a Rite of Ascension ceremonies. I have presided over a couple of weddings. So, but another related title would be the lore singer, the Kun Bamwit. I think that actually translates to lore screamer. But imagine the Klingon out in front of the Great Hall on Kotnosh, who's every day, talking about the 10 precepts of Kailash and the Klingon way, reading from the Pakbeh and the Kesha, So in other words, like a Klingon preacher or advisor or rabbi or whatever you'd want to call them. If you've, again, I'm assuming a certain amount of Star Trek knowledge. If you've ever seen in Star Trek: The Next Generation, there was an episode where Worf goes to the monastery of Boreth to kind of get in touch with his
feelings.
Yeah, kind of. He's kind of lost his way, and he's trying to get back in touch with what it means to be a warrior and what it means to be a Klingon. And while he's there, the image of Kailash reveals himself to him. The episode, I believe, was Rightful Heir. But there were several Klingon clerics shown, and so of course, I put together those robes myself, and in fact, the main Klingon cleric was his name was Koroth, and he was played by Alan Oppenheimer. So those of you that are big time sci-fi fans might know him as the original Rudy Wells in the $6 Million Man. Those that might be a little bit younger might know him as the voice of Skeletor. So that's the Klingon cleric. That's really where all that lore comes from, and that's how I carved out my role in Klingondom. And so that's why I created the page. I wanted to start doing some videos that kind of covered Klingon culture, Klingon history, Klingon cuisine. I've got at least 2 videos up. Well, actually, I've got 2 cooking videos up there. Only one of them is actually Klingon. It's
Well, did you want to show?
No. I think it would be better if people are interested, because you'd have to watch the whole video, and I don't want to take up time here. You can go check it out. I do put the recipes in the description, but obviously the staple dish of Klingons is gach,
yes,
which can be very, very difficult to to make here in the Federation. You have to have live gach, and having that smuggled across the neutral zone can be a challenge. So I give a pretty reasonable facsimile. In fact, Mark Melnikoff has on many occasions gone on record saying that I make the best gach in the quadrant. So I appreciate
apparently
him saying
we've
that.
confused a few of our chat members. The Clue Channel says it took me a minute to find out who these two people are. Salute Troy and Eddard.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Geek Flag What Nate's gave a $5 super chat. Thank you. Troy, the screamer of victories, and Ned, a conqueror of hearts.
Yes, absolutely
you.
true. Absolutely
Well, I
true.
conquered his heart, that's for sure. So, Nate, are you telling me that I conquered your heart too?
I would say so. You and became the Gintach of this house, so I should think so. Anyway, yeah. So, am I an expert in the Klingon language? No, no. There are definitely others who are better versed in Klingon whole. There, in fact, is a local pop warrior who translates pop songs into Klingon and performs them on YouTube. You can look her up. She's the Klingon pop warrior. She actually has been officially recognized by Disney. Disney in the Disney vaults has official translations of
Frozen.
Let It Go. Is it Let It Go?
Yeah.
Let It Go in all the different languages, and they included her version of
Let it go, yeah. And what's really funny is that she had gotten a letter from Disney, and she thought she was in trouble for.
She thought it was a cease and desist letter, yeah.
And then they're like, "We want to add to the vault. Can you record it?" And we're like, "Yeah."
She had filled out certain paperwork. She thought she was filling out license agreement in order to be able to do this song in Klingon, and apparently she had done the wrong one. And they're like, "No, it's just a formality. If you could just fill this out for us, we'll retroactively give you, permission. But we want to then include this song in the vault with, the French and Spanish and Italian and all the other versions of Let It Go." And she thought that was pretty cool.
What Nate says, "Netters, you have conquered my heart and friendship."
There you go. There you go. Her first song, however, was the Sixpence None the Richer song, Kiss Me. Interestingly, there is no word in Klingon for kiss. So if you literally translate it,
it's hicho.
Hicho literally translates to bite me, which seems very Klingon, yes. Very romantic to me. But and let's face it, music and language are huge parts of culture. So absolutely will I be curating a lot of that.
And of course, I want to remind everyone that the link to the Klingon Cleric's YouTube channel is pinned to the top of the chat. Please go over and drop a sub. It costs you nothing, but it's encouraging.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I now that Netter and I have done some work in the kitchen, she's gotten us a new hot plate and a new island in the kitchen. I think it might be easier for me to do some of my cooking videos, so I will be doing some more Klingon cooking videos. In fact, the one that I was talking about previously, that's called it's the one that's on Gach, right? Actually, yes, it's give me a second. Let me open that in another page. Yes. Ishoj Kotnos, which translates to good food Kronos. And I very much pastiched the old Alton Brown show Good Eats. So it was meant to be like the Klingon version of Good Eats.
And then he has a second one for the Wasaka berry pudding.
Wasaka berry pudding, for those of you that celebrate Life Day, it's a Wookiee dish, and I made that, was it last year or the year before, for Life Day. So I will probably be making a video at some point in the near future. I had filmed footage for a dish called Pippius Claw. I'm not happy with the way the footage turned out, so I think I'm going to have to re-edit. Well, probably refilm the whole thing. I really have learned a lot about filming and editing since I started the Klingon Cleric channel, so there's going to be a lot of changes there. I will probably be getting up more toy videos as well. I've got one video up about the return of the Mego action figure line. Specifically, they had some limited edition Klingons in the likeness of the Dar Masters of the original series. Kang, only Kang and Kor so far. I'm hoping they're going to do Koloth. But if they don't, I will probably end up doing my own custom figure. And if I do, I'll probably do a video of that as well.
And for those of you who like kind of ASMR, he has Klingon's bridge sounds. No vocals, just the bridge sounds.
Yeah, actually, I've actually gotten a lot of feedback on that one too. It seems that a lot of people kind of liked it. It's got over 3,000 views. It's probably one of the better better performing videos on the channel. So yeah. Absolutely. But I would really have to start putting up a lot of content there if I ever wanted to get that to the point where I want. And you know, I guess I should back up and say, why haven't I been doing more with the Klingon channel? Dealing with Paramount with their claims and whatnot is a flippin' nightmare. Ask anybody who's done a any kind of a Star Trek channel of any kind. It's ridiculous. Paramount is just terrible with it, and I got very unmotivated to do anything over there for a long time. But now that I've got the YouTube, the ins and outs of YouTube, maybe not down, but at least I'm a little bit more familiar with it. Maybe I will go back and start doing some more Klingon content over there. Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like being Klingons is fun.
There is a video over there that I actually showed it a couple weeks ago on Friday for last call. It's about the the Klingon Feast of the Long Night, Ramnite, which literally is the Klingon equivalent of the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. And I guess you could think of it as the Klingon version of Christmas, so to speak, especially if you are to ever see the Klingon Christmas Carol, which, by the way, I am planning on doing a viewing of for I haven't decided when it's going to be, and I really had intended to get a poll up on my channel. I may actually end up doing it on Monday for the Monday night at the movies, because I can't think of a better time to do it. And it's really the only way that I can present it, because there are a lot of rights issues related to it, and so the only way I could share it is through a private offsite link like I do on Mondays. So I think that's what I'm probably going to have to do. So if you ever wanted to see a Christmas Carol in Klingon, you'll want to tune in on Monday on I may actually do it on both channels. Don't know yet. We'll decide.
Yeah, it could.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I will just do it on the Khartan the Klingon Cleric channel, and do a video on my channel telling everyone, hey, Monday night at the movies will be hosted by the Klingon tonight. Go over to his channel. But that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Paramount sucks.
I just
really
got a note from Connie Claire letting me know that she got my package, what the prize that she won, or gift that she won. So you're so very welcome. I know you're in the chat, so thank you.
I believe JPRPH1 said he did too.
Yes, and for those who haven't gotten it yet, according to tracking, you should have it by tomorrow.
Yep.
By 9 p.m. tomorrow, according to tracking. So hopefully it's still on point. I figure if the U.S. Postal Service is being slow, the very latest you'll get Saturday, but tracking is showing Friday by 9 p.m.
Yep. So yeah. So obviously, as a Klingon enthusiast, as a Star Trek enthusiast, one of the things that has been a driving force for me is, and it's anyone who's into this area of fandom knows what a struggle this is, but Star Trek has had a very difficult time with their merchandising. Whereas I think Star Wars was probably the poster child for some of the greatest marketing in all of fandom history. Star Trek has struggled, let's say, for years as fans. If you wanted to do cosplay and have props and phasers and tricorders and stuff like that, you pretty much had to make them yourself. And every now and again, somebody would somehow get a hold of an original prop and make a mold of it and put out a bunch of very, very expensive resin casts of them. And they were totally not licensed. And, Paramount and CBS would go around the conventions slapping down, cease and desist letters. Not that Lucasfilm didn't do the same thing, but they would also pay attention to what was being sold at the conventions and then put out toys and costume accoutrement and so forth, because people would buy it. And, Lucasfilm liked money, and Paramount and CBS never seemed to. But be that as it may, it has forced Star Trek fans to be very much in the maker community. So, for example, our Butler on the walls, at least the ones that we can take to conventions with us, were made for us by Mark Malnikoff. He's made us Gintach, Mechleth,
Actually, no, sweetie. The Botloths that we have, the wooden ones, I bought those at a convention before we were really involved with CAG.
Well,
we just started out with
three of the blanks are, that's true.
Oh, okay.
But most of everything else we have, we got from Mark.
Our knives and that sort of thing, those are from Mark.
But I've also gone out of my way. There's a place called Geeky Forge where I got myself a metal butler. I got Netter a metal Gintach head, spearhead. I still want to put that on a new shaft, because the one we have, I think, is kind of a weak wood. Costume I had professionally made by the same woman who made the costumes for Martok and Gowron that they wear to conventions. It's as close as you can get to screen accurate as possible. And all this time, I have gone out of my way to obtain every version of Star Trek role-playing game that they have put out. Starting with FASA, which fans had a very contentious relationship. FASA took a lot of liberties with the canon and made up a bunch of stuff that a lot of fans would consider canon that wasn't really, even though some of it did work its way into mainline canon many years later, only to be ruined by Star Trek Discovery, but that's a whole other story. But after FASA, I'm trying to remember, I think it wasn't White Wolf. I can't remember. No, it was a company called Last Unicorn Games. They're now defunct. They started putting it out like after the Next Generation era, getting into Deep Space Nine and so forth. And then Decipher, I think, did one, and I got the rule set from the Decipher. I got all the Decipher rules, and now an overseas company has the rights to them. And what I like about them, Modifius is the name of the company that's now doing the role-playing game. And what I love about Modifius is their most recent rule set. They did a Federation version, and they also did an all Klingon version. So obviously I got the Klingon rule set and so forth. But, Nate has a question.
Let me see. Question. There we go.
Yeah.
Question Netters. Did Troy pull you into his geeky ways when it comes to Star Trek, or are you ready to Trekkie?
Well,
we met at a Star Trek convention, so I was already well into watching Next Generation, and of course I grew up with the original Trek. But I met him because there was a convention that was going to have Patrick Stewart at it, so it was basically Next Gen, and I saw him there, and it was just one of those things where he saw me from a distance. I was sitting there talking to a Klingon, and I was wearing my captain's shirt with a black mini skirt, so I got the nickname of Captain Miniskirt at all these conventions I would go to. I had fans. I had groupies. And it was one of those things where I happened to look over, and he's just standing there staring at me. Now, he's a good, 30, 40 feet away, just staring. And then his buddy comes up to him, smacks him on the arm, and says, "Come on, let's go." And it was just one of those things where I saw him blink, and there was like what? And then he went off. And then, of course, the following week, there's a friend of mine that I had met this girl at that con, and we became instant best buds. And she's like, "Hey, I just joined the Star Trek group. Why don't you join too?" So I joined, and then the very next week we were going to the opening of Star Trek 6, where the club was going to be there. And she's like, "Let me introduce you to my game master," which was Troy. I was actually on somebody else's ship. So it was like, she goes to introduce me to him. It was like the whole room went silent, and it was just him and me. And I'm just looking into those big brown eyes. And my only thought is, I'm going to marry this man. I didn't know if he was married with 10 kids. I didn't know anything about him, but I knew I was going to marry him. That was beginning of December of 91. By the end of December of 91, we were engaged. We married 8 months later.
Yep.
I just knew. 32 years and still going strong.
And I think before Darkwoods Presents gets really, really confused, you need to understand I'm over on my alternate channel, which is Khartan the Klingon Cleric. Yes, you're right. Troy isn't streaming. It's just Netter. It's just Netter interviewing the Klingon Cleric tonight.
Yeah, because it's like, what is it? I don't have StreamYard set up.
You don't pay for it, and after the end of the year, I won't be paying for it either. We're going to switch over to Evmuck.
He says Troy isn't streaming. Where's everyone else? I don't know where at.
Everybody needs to be on. Well, I mean, you must be on Netter's channel in order
Yeah.
to be commenting here. That's where everyone is.
Yes. And again, I want to remind everyone that the link to the Klingon Cleric's channel is pinned to the top of the chat. If you wouldn't mind popping over and giving a sub, that would be awesome. I'm looking for 4 more, just to get my round numbers, you know. So if you haven't subbed yet, please go and do so. If you've got another channel, like Connie Cleary, she said that she has subbed with both of her channels.
That's nice.
So if you've got another channel, why don't you just kind of log in and sub with that one too? And, you know,
there you go.
Show the love.
Like I said, I haven't really got that many videos just yet. I think there's only like 5 videos there. But I'm pretty proud of what I have so far. And
you will be adding to it.
And I will be adding to it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, for example, I'll probably be doing a live stream on Monday of the... Oh,
JPRPH1 said, I'm subbed 3 ways for a while. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you are wonderful. I super appreciate it. And I see that Dark Woods Presents has subscribed to me as well. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't know what I did that set it up so that I get emails to let me know when someone subscribes to me on that channel, because I don't have that on Last Call. It would be a nice thing to have, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, there was an episode of Deep Space Nine called "You Are Cordially Invited," where we saw a long form version of a wedding between Worf and Jadzia Dax. So we got a lot of great lore there about the courtship rituals and the Klingon equivalent of a bachelor party and so forth, and all of the various traditions involved. Martok's wife served as the Laldan Shov Chokfui for that particular ceremony. In fact, it was interesting because I have to assume it was intentional. The dress that she wore looked very similar to the bluish robes that Koroth wore in The Rightful Heir. So I have to assume that
Darkwood Presents says a lot of bitey, stabby, stabby.
Yes.
And screaming. Can't forget the screaming.
Yes, and screaming and gnashing of teeth, absolutely. So from that episode, I was able to put together, the order of ceremony that I could perform at conventions and private events and so forth. And I did perform a wedding at a convention. Now, the couple had already been married for a number of years. I think it was their anniversary, so they were doing a vow renewal. In fact, the wife recreated the dress that Jadzia wore in "You Are Cordially Invited." Real quick, want to say hi to Pacific 414. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. So yeah. I used to, pre-COVID, we used to do the Feast of Kalish. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Feast of Kalish we always did at Evelyn's place, usually in the spring. But I would do the Chitlop celebration here at my house. Chitlop is kind of like a combination of Klingons Armed Services Day, kind of mixed with like a Thanksgiving kind of harvest festival. And so we'd have all kinds of food. traditional Klingon dishes. It's how I ended up putting together this rather sizable recipe book of Klingon dishes. And one of the members at the time, she was pretty young, and she was celebrating kind of a milestone birthday. So we did a rite of ascension ceremony for her with the pain sticks and the whole bit. So yeah, I have like, I don't know, like 10 pain sticks so that you could do so that you can recreate the the Age of Ascension ceremony. Yeah, that's kind of what I have done in fandom.
Wow, you have been busy.
I have.
And I actually can't wait to see and partake of your other Klingon cooking videos because you cook them, I get to eat them.
That's true. That's true. I have to. I mean, I'll have to think about it. Maybe this weekend I will, refilm my Pippi's Claw video. Um, but yeah, so there you go.
Awesome. Um, and we're coming up on quarter 2.
Yep.
Do you know, you may have mentioned, and I just spaced out on it. Do you know what your next Klingon video is that you're aiming to go for?
Well,
Is it going to be a cooking video or is it going to be a toy video?
I think that the next one is, if I make the Pippiest Claw and I'm able to film the footage of doing that, then that will be the first long form video that I do. Of course, that'll have to be filmed and edited and so forth. But I think we kind of decided tonight that on Monday, for Monday Night at the Movies, we will be watching the Klingon Christmas Carol.
Right.
And I think I will do that on the Khartan the Klingon Cleric channel.
Awesome. And Geekfly Renee said, these paint sticks, do they really shock you? And here's what's funny. Troy had made some with, those joy buzzers where, you go to shake somebody's hand and it kind of vibrates in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he made some with some of those on top.
Yep.
So what we do is you wind them up, and then when you touch somebody, it does a buzzy, and it makes the noise.
So it definitely has, and if you hit someone like on bare skin, they feel the vibration, so it might surprise them if they're not expecting it. I have seen people come up with ideas for how one could make a pain stick using electronics, that would actually shock you. But I don't think that for liability reasons, it's probably not such a great idea.
Yeah, it's like, you do get that kind of vibration, quote unquote, shock.
Yeah.
When it touches you, but it doesn't hurt. It just actually kind of
tickles. So here's what's funny. We went to, this was some years ago. It's got to be almost 10 years ago. Netter and I went to Gen Con in Indiana when they first started doing the live dungeon. We went through the dungeon, and there was an artifact that we needed to pick up. But there were all these clues that I had totally missed, and I didn't do the search for traps. So I just said, oh, well, there it is. And I went and I picked, it was a mace. And I went and I picked up the mace, and you had to take the mace and you had to put it into a particular sconce in order to open the door. Well, if you didn't deactivate the spell that was on it, you were supposed to get shocked. And there really was an electrical current going through the mace that was supposed to shock you. And the, in-game dungeon master was like, wait a minute, are you not feeling anything? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's buzzing up my arm a little bit. I kind of didn't even notice it because it was kind of a low yield kind of a thing. But then my arm was starting to go numb. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should put this down.
Yeah, the whole thing was it was supposed to give you one of those kind of zap shocks, so you drop
Yeah.
it, and that didn't happen.
Got to remember that when I was in shop class in high school, in order to teach us about electrical safety, the teacher had rigged up the output of the distributor on the old carbureted engines with the distributor cap. He'd have somebody hold on to it and they'd get zapped. Well, what was also really funny would be to have everyone hold hands and then one person hold on to the end of the distributor cap. And what happens is the person holding the output of the distributor didn't get zapped. It was the last guy in the line who got zapped. And he'd go, ow, and then he'd let go and everyone down the line would let go. And when you're the last one, you're the one getting zapped. Well, he had the whole class holding hands, and the one guy up front holding the distributor, the output of the distributor, and nothing's happening. And he's like, is nobody feeling anything? No, nobody's feeling anything. Until all of a sudden, the last guy in line said, son of a, and, he swore, and everybody let go. And his pants were on fire. He had been leaning up against a metal desk, one of those ones that was grounded because it had an electrical outlet in it. And the electricity was going through him into the desk. And there was this rivet in his jeans that was building up heat. The pants caught fire. His pants were on fire. And that's what set him off. It was, yeah. Anyway, don't play with electricity, people, unless you really, really know what you're doing.
And even then, you probably shouldn't play with electricity.
Yeah, probably true. There's always a Darwin Award to be won, and you don't want to win that particular award.
Correct. Okay, it is about 10-ish minutes to the hour. What do we have going on the rest of the week? So today is Thursday. Yep. Oh, and if you stay right here, you will be redirected to deleted scenes
for his weekend
update. So stay right here. Don't go anywhere, and you'll be automatically redirected. But Friday, over on Friday Night Last Call, do you have any special guests or anything?
No, it'll just be you, me, and Boomer talking about some of our favorite Christmas memories. Traditions that we had, some of our favorite gifts, some of our favorite songs. I don't have the stream up yet, but, obviously I will have it up by go live time tomorrow. Regular time, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Last Call with Troy Pacelli.
Yes. And then on Saturday, we'll be over on, right here again. And we will be on Retro Cinema watching the movie Elf just in time. Oh, wait, is it my week?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, that is the 21st. Okay. So, yes, we were watching the movie Elf. So that is a Will Ferrell movie where he plays a very rambunctious elf who's way too happy.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to cut back on the sugar.
Right.
So that's going to be a nice treat to watch. And then let's see, there's a bunch of deleted stuff, I'm sure, on Saturday, also on Sunday. Sunday night, we're going to have Geeky Geezers over on Age of Boomers channel with guest host Troy Pacelli. And let's see, then Monday night at the movies, you said we will be watching a Klingon Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it cannot be gotten anymore. At least, wait, let me do a quick Google search.
I think the only place that you can get the DVD is directly from the troupe that performs the Klingon Christmas Carol. And last I heard, they did not have the license to be selling it right now. They're going to have to re-up the license. So I believe it is out of print for the time being.
Actually, wait. Oh, that was 9 years ago. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm going to say exactly. On Facebook, but that says 9 years ago. So, Yeah, it doesn't look like it's available. Huh. Well, what do you know about that? Okay, so that is Monday. Tuesday, I know we're not doing a Sparkling in 21 until after the new year. So I'm guessing, though, that we will rejoin Blake and his friends as we try for take two of
Yeah, yeah. We had problems with
Cosme.
Cosme this week. So well, actually, wait a minute. Tuesday is Christmas Eve. So we're
Oh,
probably going to be starting our Christmas Eve movies. Uh so watch for I will get the schedule put together.
hello,
Uh
Adega.
watch the community tab on my channel for the list of films that we'll be watching Tuesday night and all day Wednesday for Christmas.
Yes, we are planning on doing a bunch of films.
So actually, we probably won't be watching Blake Seven again until the first week of the new year.
Okay. So, yeah, because Troy decided he, I guess, enjoyed doing the Thanksgiving movies on Thanksgiving Day. So now we're going to do it for Christmas. And you said we're starting on Christmas Eve and going
We're
through?
going to at least have a couple of movies on Christmas Eve. I don't know how late we'll go, and then we'll start Christmas morning with the kiddie shows, working our way up to I don't know what. I haven't put the schedule together yet, but I
Well,
will.
I'm sure that we have some Christmas horror films.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want. I already did a couple of not necessarily horror films, but intense ones. I did Gremlins and Krampus last Monday, so I think that'll do.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, there's nothing. Thursday, who is my guest on Thursday? Let me go back to my schedule. Thursday thing, yes. Ah, my guest on the 26th will be Culture Casino.
Yeah,
And I know you're all going to want to come in for that. And sometime in the new year, I'm going to have on Mrs. Culture Casino. So, Culture Casino will be on December 26th. So, I'm looking forward to that. And of course, I know, like I said, you guys are not going to want to miss that. And for anyone who joined us a little late, the link to Khartan the Klingon Cleric's channel is pinned to the top of the chat. If you wouldn't mind going over there and showing the love. Let's see. We have, let me refresh my screen.
one other video that I'm planning to do for the Klingon channel is I want to do a Klingon drinking stream where I do some taste testing of various Klingon drinks, including several different kinds of blood wine
And ales.
and two kinds of Romulan ale.
Plus, we have the Klingon beer in the can.
Yes, yes, that was Warnog. Yes. So yeah,
And you can actually do that behind the bar.
I
The
absolutely
actual
could.
bar.
I
We do have a
absolutely
bar
could.
in our family room.
I absolutely could do that. That's true.
It was here when we moved in, so. uh, let's see. Oh, I was going to check to see where we were on subscribers. Okay, people are not showing the love. I realize some of you already sub, but for those of you who are not, can you show the love and give us a few more? He's at 187. You know me, I like my round numbers. Can we get up to 190? Just because I like my numbers. And I know you guys have always been so Osmo on this before. So it's like just looking for 3 more just to get up to that round number. Adega says, Klingons drinking Romulan ale? Klingons will drink almost anything,
I love that
including fruit
line.
juice.
What was it? Was it Star Trek Insurrection where they had the wedding of Troy and Riker, and at the reception, Worf is hung over, and he says, "Romulan ale should be illegal," and Geordi looks at him and goes, "It is."
That's true. It is.
And in fact, I will even tell the story about how I got my my Romulan ale smuggled across the neutral zone. For real. Not even kidding about that.
I just found an Indiegogo that was for Klingon Christmas Carol Reinvented. It's closed now. It's a closed campaign.
Yeah.
Where they're looking for $4,000 to, I guess, do another Klingon Christmas Carol, and they only raised $2,700.
Well, I didn't know about it, so I couldn't promote it.
Yeah, because if you guys are doing anything, Indiegogo, Give Send Go,
whatever. Yeah.
let us know so we can help promote
Let
it.
people know so they can get the community involved. That's how you do it. That's absolutely right.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And that's why, ones like the one for, why am I drawing a blank on the name? Spaceship in the Sky. What's that movie? The one that Tom Conko's doing.
Oh, Island in the Stars.
Thank you, Island in the Stars. Spaceship in the Stars.
I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Island in the Stars, because we've been promoting it, not just during our streams, but we had been promoting it on X, and other social media platforms. So he was getting a lot of traction with that. If you all are doing anything, you're doing some sort of fundraiser or whatever, let us know so we can share it out.
Right.
And let me see if anyone else. No, we still have 187. So either y'all are all already subbed, or you don't like Klingons. And that makes me sad. Want to make sure I'm not missing any chats. Darkwood says, I subbed and liked all your vids. Honor to your house, Khartan.
Thank you.
Kapla.
Likewise. Kavan.
Odega says they've been subbed for a while. Yes, I guess more people were subbed than I thought.
Yeah, maybe.
Once we finish here, I'm going to go to my my alternate channel.
I didn't know you had an alternate channel.
It's the one I started first long ago that I never did anything with. I think I started when we were helping out that other YouTuber with his channel, just so that I would have a channel.
Gotcha.
And I never did anything with it. And then when I decided to actually do YouTubing, I created Netter's Network, like completely forgetting I had this other channel that I could have used. So I'll have to see if that one's subbed. If not, then you'll get another sub. I can't change out IDs right now because otherwise I'll lose my live stream that I'm doing right now. Okay, so Khartan, any final words in English or Klingon?
Well, I suppose that, in keeping with the season, I should wish you all Ramnitai Bati Jaj. Enjoy your feast of the long night. And Kapla.
Noknek. And of course, y'all know what I always say. We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping the comments and the questions and the trivia and being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, are not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. And you guys could be anywhere right now, and you're here. And that's so encouraging, not just to me and Troy, but I'd like to think it's encouraging to all of you in the chat, too, seeing the same familiar faces, in all of our different streams. Because you guys are Osmo. You're so encouraging, and you support our channels in so many different ways. It's the thumbs up, the comments, the leaving a comment after the streams are over, the memberships and super chats and super stickers and sharing the stream out and all of that. So we don't do this for us. We do it for you. And the support that you give us make us want to do more and do better and keep improving and making our channels the best they can be for you. It's like you guys are amazing. JPRPH says, even if it's on your own time, friends, meet John Doe, Frank Capra, 1941, Gary Cooper, Barbara Stanwyck, one of my favorite for Christmas. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I've actually seen it. So there's a thought for you, sweetie.
There you go.
You guys, you're just so, like I said, you're Osmo. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the many ways that you encourage us and support us. And until next time, which will be tomorrow night. Well, actually, stay right where you are, and you'll be redirected to deleted scenes for his weekend update. But the next time you'll see Troy or I hosting a stream will be tomorrow night over on Last Call with Troy Pacelli. So until then, good night and God bless.